Alright, hello everybody. We're back at 500 feet, ready to delve into some deeper depths than we've seen before. Before we get started, I would like to note, I forgot to say this before, but my little character here, Arrow, is named in honor of one of the main characters of a book I read recently called The Cellist of Sarajevo. Pretty good book. I liked it. It was short and to the point. A little bit melodramatic, but it got a lot better at the end. So moving along, I was kind of thinking about where to go next with this build. And now I forget where that destination was. Oh yeah, at the end of every skill tree, there's an option to buy a point of some stat. And if you look at all the skills in the archery tree, there really aren't too many more that I want to take. Ideally, I would get flaming arrows and dexterity. Sorry, flaming arrows and rapid fire. But rapid fire, this is very late game skill. Like these skills that let you hit twice. So this lets you shoot 2 arrows twice. There's a melee skill that lets you stab twice. There's another melee skill that lets you wield 2 weapons. Those tend to be very late game skills because they put a big penalty on the on your attacks. So here it lets you fire 2 arrows per round, but it's as if you had 3 points less strength and dexterity. So you do way fewer damage sides and significantly less chance of hitting. So until your stats are high enough to balance that out by getting better equipment or taking some of these stat boosts, not really worth it. So if I'm going to invest in archery, the next couple of points are going to cost me like 1100, 1200. I might as well just spend 1500 and buy this dexterity point. And then pretty soon I'll be able to go do the same thing in stealth actually, because you only need 11 for that. So I might be able to get 2 points of dexterity pretty early on. So this is just sort of what I was thinking about. The other thing I was thinking about is I do need some perception skills. But later in the game, like around 800 or 900 feet, I'm going to have to start thinking about the end game, which I'll discuss if we possibly get there. But the goal of the game is to go and cut a Silmaril out of Morgoth's crown. And to do that, you actually need to be able to cut it out of the crown. So that's not the easiest thing in the world to do. And there aren't too many ways of doing it effectively. But anyways, one way of helping you out a lot is by finding a weapon that has sharpness on it, or by taking the skill Song of Sharpness, which takes a lot of investment. But it's for an archer, that song is amazing. It's just so good. It's hard to get across how good it is. So there's a lot of points. There's because everything synergizes well with archery, you kind of feel like you just want to spend on everything, and that will get you a weak character. So I'm just trying to figure out what the best point allocation is. And these wargs, I hate them so much, as I've said before, that I'm just gonna hope they don't see me. Don't pick fights if you don't think you can win, basically. The other thing I realized while I was biking home, these are stupid things to think about. You know, I should be thinking about not getting hit by a car, but anyways. I was worried about eating a whole bunch of these herbs because I was worried one of them would be a herb of weakness. But I have the Sustain Constitution amulet. So I think there's another herb that will drain my strength, but I don't really care so much about that. I'll lose a damage side, but you know, not the end of the world. And I have all these potions of strength to give it back. So I might just start popping herbs pretty soon. What is this? Oh, a worm. So what I'm doing now is stupid. You shouldn't be standing in line of sight of monsters you don't want to fight. So this warg, do wargs create light? Does a frickin' warg carry a torch? What don't they do? They might as well just give them some kind of I don't know, cybernetic skeleton. I think what should happen is you get to the end of the game, and you go to try to find Morgoth, take a Silmaril from his crown, and it's not Morgoth, it's a friggin' warg. And he's sitting there with a doggy crown. Okay. This is another thing I was thinking about. This monster, the Lurking Horror, I'm super lucky right now. These H-type monsters tend to be positionally challenging to the player. So they'll try to take up space or move and block corridors. They're usually really hard to damage. This one is darkness, it casts darkness, but because I have so much light I saw it. This monster, though, is actually broken. They're patching it in the next release. I don't know why I keep compulsively looking at this thing, but basically, it's not in this history because I'm playing a save file that I haven't really finished the game with. But the Lurking Horror has an attack that hurts you, and it also entrances you. And with my will, there's no way I'm going to resist entrancement. So it's gonna paralyze me. So if it bites me and paralyzes me, there's a bug that if it bites me, even if it doesn't do any damage, it'll still just keep paralyzing me. So it will chain paralyze you until you die. Whereas those previous monsters, the Barrow Wights that I fought, they had an attack that would touch you to paralyze, but it doesn't do damage. So they can either touch you to entrance or then hit you, which wakes you up. Whereas the Lurking Horror, everything it can do to cause damage will also put you back to sleep. So do not get hit by those in this version of the game. And that howling probably means that the wargs saw me or heard me or something, which pisses me off, but... See, I wonder if they can hear me but not see me. That would be kind of funny. I don't know how the nitty-gritties of the stealth mechanics work in this game. So many wargs. See? That's where high stealth comes in super handy. I think one day I'm going to build a character that just has like a million different things that combat wolves, and just go and kill wargs, just like for pure revenge. Tough troll. Not tough enough though. Yeah, and to go back to that Lurking Horror, that is pretty much the worst scenario in which I could have stumbled across it, because he didn't become visible until I was standing right next to him, because of the small tiny corridor he was in. And if you don't have a stealth character, and that happens to you, you're dead. Like, that's it, it's over. Unless you have some high will where you're not likely to be entranced, or you have an item of free action. But in this game, items that resist... conditions like free action resists paralysis, true sight resists invisibility, I guess, or it helps you see invisible monsters. It's not actually like a binary thing. It just gives you +10 to your skill rolls, and I think skill rolls are rolled on a d20. So if you're constantly rolling the dice against paralysis, and getting paralyzed once means you're dead, then you're gonna die. Like, this is one of those things where Bernoulli is not your friend. Alright, it's time to start eating herbs, and, well, I'm not hurt. Oh, but I've already eaten healing. Oh no. Oh, thank God. Okay. Word to the wise. Don't do what I just did and eat a herb that you don't know what it is in the middle of a frickin' hallway or room. Like, go somewhere else. Preferably where you can box yourself in between two doors, because entrancement is really bad. Oh, wow, I forgot I have Vanish. Awesome. Oh, man. I love this game. Why is he fleeing? Well, there are a fair number of monsters here. I should not get cocky, because... Oh, they're shouting. I hate it when they start shouting. It drives me bonkers. Why is he fleeing? I don't understand. Am I really that scary? Well, like, I would like to think so, but I just kind of like gave him a love tap. I just wanted him to feel affection. So that, remember I told you before, with Vanish in effect, if you're standing in line of sight and a monster just forgets that you're there, they become unwary and it'll tell you. So now he noticed me. You are irritating me. And what does that even mean? Confident -1. So the whole reason all that happened is because I wanted to get this yellow potion. Do I still get experience for these guys? 15. Yeah, that's worth it. So apparently, I've never noticed this before because I don't often play archers, but apparently when monsters are fleeing from you, if they get stuck in a corner, they just sit there and wait to die. So I'm sure that's exploitable. That's not really worth it. Ooh. Special battle axe. I took a look at the artifacts list before I started this game, and I think this red shield... So unless... If like a Kite Shield of Frost or something, or a Kite Shield of Wrath has its own color, then I don't know what it is, but there's an artifact Kite Shield that has just like basic stats, like -1, 1d6. It's like the Kite Shield of Hador or something, and I think this might be it. But if we get to a fire-breathing monster, I'm just going to wield it and hope to God that it does what I think it does. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what I could possibly drop. Well, let's just go wield this battle axe. And if it's something good, I'll figure out what it is right away. But it's not really that great. There aren't really any orcs anymore that I'm particularly scared of, so I'll probably just drop the spear and take this axe. Because if somehow I find a way to identify it, it's worth some experience. I might come to regret that decision, but I guess there's some orc uniques left. Oh, but my axe is glowing, so I should be able to figure out what it is pretty soon. Well, it's not Orc Slaying, because it stopped glowing. I almost feel like this is a waste of arrows at this point. Oh, I have lots of experience. Okay. Yeah, let's just work up to 1500 and take dexterity. Why not? And I don't actually mind pooling experience right now, because things aren't... I should shut up, but things so far aren't that hard. And I'm trying not to fight everything, because... Where the fuck did he come from? Okay, this is bad. Did I just not see him? Oh no, I'm in a web. Okay. I don't know if this has happened before. Yeah, I don't think we've had this happen before. So basically, when you get stuck in a web, you can't move, and a spider comes down and drops right in front of you, which for an archer is pretty much a nightmare, because, you know, you're not designed to melee monsters. I have a pretty good melee score, and these things are squishy, and I'm not super scared of being poisoned. I'm sure one of these frickin' potions restores poison. And I know for sure a Pale Herb of Healing will restore it. But there's these Easterling warriors that are... Because they open this door, it's likely that they're coming to walk up behind me. So I don't like this situation. This makes me nervous. So the fastest way to get out of this... The way to rip out of a web... It's based on a strength check. So if you chug a potion of strength, you're much more likely to rip out of the web. You give the monster a free hit, which is unfortunate, but I almost feel like I can hit this thing, like just stab it. And now I know this frickin' longsword is spider slaying. Okay, you know what, I'm gonna take a risk. I really don't like this. I think, is my evasion lowered because I'm in a web? Let's see. If I'm lucky, the warriors won't... I don't think they know I'm here. Yeah, see, they're unwary. They might stay unwary until they're, like, right on me. So, let's see what happens. It is very hard to dodge or attack from within a web. Thanks, game creators. Okay, you know what? This is done. I'm gonna chug this potion, and I'm out. Among the stat potions, I would say potions of strength are among the least useful, other than to help you get out of that exact situation. So, wow, this is a really buggy area. Spiders, dragonflies. So don't be afraid to use your strength potions on that situation. I still have one. But I'm not sure why the Easterland Warriors would just like open the door and be like, oh yeah, you know, I've changed my mind. I don't actually want to go in here. So I was lucky there. Awesome. We have ourselves a point of dexterity. Another shovel. I don't think there's much difference between shovels. Oh, and there we go. I just picked one up. Okay, this black spot here is nothing I want to fight. Like, oh, it's a worm. Okay, that's not bad. I feel like these worms give off like a really variable amount of darkness. And you may have noticed that like all of a sudden nothing can see me. It's just like I'm sitting right under monsters' noses and they're kind of like, oh, what's going on? Whereas before that was like definitely not the case. Are these guys totally bugged out? Like, I think this is a bug. I don't know why they're still fleeing. Something happened. If like Scarecrow showed up and hit him with nerve toxin or something, we just fell into an alternate universe. Sorry, I just recently saw Batman. What hit me? Okay, this is probably a Sil Roko. And you know what? Awesome. Because I found a battle axe of Sil Roko slaying, but I can't see it. Oh, this is really bad. My perception is awful. I have nothing that gives me true sight. The problem with those Sil Roko things, they're invisible. Oh, except I have Vanish. Okay, so this isn't as bad. Those things for a character who doesn't have Vanish are, if you can't see them, it's so frustrating, because they'll just keep following you around and just getting in the way. It's really hard for them to kill you, but they sure can make a nuisance of themselves. I have so many weapons right now, I don't know where to go. Let's get my one sword of brilliance. These things are probably worth like 0 experience to me right now. Their very existence offends me. Yeah, so I keep forgetting I have Vanish. But what I was in the middle of saying, you might notice that I'm like just walking right past monsters and they're like having a really hard time seeing me. That's going to change, first of all, quickly. But the reason why that's happening is because in order to take Vanish, I had to take Disguise. And that's what Disguise does. It gives you a huge bonus, well, a big +3 bonus to staying out of sight when monsters are like in your line of sight, which is normally the time when they would see you anyways. So Disguise is actually very useful on its own. It's not like most of the other, I guess, precursor abilities where, like, dodging, you need that to get sprinting. And it's okay, but that's really the only reason you're getting it. Like, if you could get sprinting straight, you would probably just get sprinting. Whereas dodging, I feel, what's that called? Disguise, I feel, is really good on its own. So, what we're going to do now is conduct an experiment. This experiment may result in my death. But, I'm going to put on this kite shield. And I'm going to do what you should never do, which is provoke a dragon. The best thing to do would be to kill one. And then experiment with the other one. Why is my light so shitty? Okay, that's a good angle. Okay, good. I killed that one. Let's see if I can anger this one. Come on. Did that hurt me? No. Come on. More fire. I'm cold. I want it. What's wrong with this dragon? Do I have to teach it everything? Yeah, okay, so I think the shield is what I think it is, but I don't think my idiot elf is going to figure it out until he's a toasted marshmallow. And these things can still bite pretty hard, so I shouldn't just be sitting here waiting for being torched, but they actually breathe a lot when they're scared, and that's really stupid for them to do, because I think the strength of their attack might be based on their HP. Or maybe the shield isn't what I think it is. Anyways, this game's not fun anymore, so I'm just gonna kill it. And yeah, the unfortunate consequence of fighting those things fairly is that if you leave any arrows on the floor, they'll just torch them. Is there really anything I can make with a 2-use forge? I have like no room in my inventory either. And I have no experience. So I should just make quasi-useful things. Sorry, I'm just thinking a little bit here. Oh, I'm going to switch back to this. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Hang on. Where's my Staff of Self-Knowledge? Oh, there we go. I just made room in my inventory. Okay. Let's make some gloves of smithing. Rad. And is there anything that I'm missing? Boots of speed, gloves of archery, helmet of brilliance, shield of deflection, cloak of stealth. I can probably make a better cloak of stealth now. Armor of stealth, lantern. Can't make any of this stuff. I don't even think it's worth the experience of making a better cloak of stealth. What else is here? Yeah, there's not too much. That might be helpful. Or like boots of free action or something. You know what, I just don't care that much. Probably gonna regret that later, but what are you gonna do? Ha! Oh, that is such a win. Awesome. So it looks like my bike brainstorming session was correct. That means, though, now I don't want to actually try to identify any other herbs by eating, because they might be a strength draining one. Okay, if you see a matok, get it, because there are certain situations that you get into. Any monsters that cause earthquakes, they might cause granite to fall around you, and you can't tunnel through granite with just a shovel. You need to use a matok. Haven't I killed like infinity of these things already? And I feel like I've been seeing these spiders for like the last 7 floors. Which, I'm not really complaining because they're easy for me to kill, but like seriously. Oh fuck, it's this thing again. Ha, I can see him. Problem is, by the time I switch to this axe, I won't be able to see him anywhere. And the problem with them is when you can't see them, you don't even know which direction to attack in. So, although my axe went back to normal again, so it's probably okay with leaving me alone. I think that's it for this floor. Shall we do another? Yes, we shall. Let's go. probably shouldn't be spending experience so, like, hastily, but... Well, there's no but. I just probably shouldn't be doing it. Let's see if he goes up the stairs. Where are you going? That's such a weird route to walk. Who does that? Who walks into a room and decides to walk along the wall until they get to the place they want to go? Trolls, apparently. Are these... Oh, these are snow trolls. I should kill these. Man, this troll just, like, knows where all the doors are. He is the doorkeeper. In those situations where you got a monster by surprise like that, but you don't know what's behind it, it's actually better to take shots from this angle. Because if your arrow misses, it'll hit the wall. Whereas if there's a monster over here behind it that's sleeping, and you miss your target, you might hit that monster behind it. And if that's like an amethyst dragon or something, that's a big mistake. So I've been in situations where I'm like standing here with little light, and I'm whacking at a monster that, you know, isn't really a big deal. I may take a shot at it, and then I hit something nasty that breathes fire on me or something, which at that distance doesn't hurt that much, but it's always a pretty big scare. This is like Troll Central. What's going on? See, like, don't you wonder how I ever lived without Disguise and Vanish before? I honestly don't know how people play the game without them. Like, this is what happens when you suck at the game. You need an easy way out. But really, like, what high stealth lets you do is not worry about specific situations. It helps you get out of general situations. So, like, if you have monsters that breathe fire, monsters that paralyze you, monsters that shoot you, stuff like this, all very hard to deal with, and you have to think of, like, individual situations to get through them, or you can just make it so they can't see you, and then a lot of your problems go away. So it's just a less stressful way to play the game. Ah. Okay, so I think I just learned something. I wonder if down shafts are different than downstairs. And maybe they take you farther down, or they just dump you in a place where you don't have an up staircase, like a matching up staircase. I've never really paid attention. Well, these are either slowness boots or free action, so I don't really want to... I already have the best leather boots possible. It's a pretty good shot. That's really neat. One thing that helps as a stealth player too, if you... See, I really wish I was using a better save file right now that had like a better monster memory. Because if you know... When you have Lore Master, by looking at a monster, you learn everything about it. And one thing that's really good to know about a monster when you have a stealth-based build is what its perception score is. Because if it has high perception, you know that it's going to be easier for it to find you. That's pretty rad. Leather gloves of power. Not super useful for this build, but... certainly not useful enough to ditch my archery gloves. And what I did there was actually kind of dumb. There are a lot of cursed gloves, or there's at least a high incidence of cursed gloves. And I don't really want to spend experience on curse breaking right now, so... What shall I do here? Although, yeah, I have this staff that I think might be Sanctity, so it's really not that scary. Am I sure none of these herbs are bad? Okay, Herbs of Rage. The only thing I can think that would be is Restoration, and if I have that many Restoration herbs, this is going to be awesome. Okay, what are some of these things? Alright. I'll just take you. I feel slightly comfortable IDing potions by use right now, because I should shut up, but like I don't really need them. And really, if I get in a situation where I need to be chugging potions as an archer, I'm just gonna die. If you're surrounded as an archer, my melee score right now is so low for this depth in the dungeon that I'm just gonna need to get the hell out. The only other dangerous potion out there is disconnection, which drains your grace, and I think awkwardness, which I really don't want, but what are you gonna do? I don't like fighting these trolls 2 at a time. Although, maybe I can just wake up one. Wow, that was some crazy shit. Ooh. It's so rare that I find good pole arms that are good. I've tried to make a bunch of spear-based builds, and I've never pulled it off, ever. Alright, there's nothing special about this halberd. Wait, what did I just do? Did I put my shield back on? Yeah. Wargs are coming. Alright, let's... Whoa. Oh, I forgot they're fast. That's obnoxious. Where do I want to go look? Sorry for all the minimap jitter, I just get lost really easily. Also, I can't remember this for sure, but if you see worms that are hidden in shadow, don't just assume they're shadow worms. I think nether worm masses are also dark, and they drain your grace. So, wow, what's up with all the forges? That's a good one, too. Okay, this might be the game trying to tell me that it wants me to get Artifice, so let's just remember that that's there. Well, this one's heavier. It might slay something better, but... Put that squarely in the don't care camp. Lurking horror that I definitely do not want to fight. Oh. So I want these, but I don't want to empty any of my quivers. My pack is getting too full. What did that battle axe slay? It slayed Roko or whatever. They never really show up in groups. That's not really that useful. Let's just get rid of it. These special arrows, they might be poison, but I'm hoping they're piercing, because those are the best things of life. Oh man, I need Lore Master so bad. This is probably some stat sustaining ring, like, or I don't know. Are there rings of True Sight? I don't even know. That would be actually super useful for me right now. But Shadowbat, one of my least favorite monsters. What the hell did I just do? Okay. Hot tip, don't randomly unequip equipment when you're standing next to a dangerous monster. Can these blind you? Okay, I should not have hit that thing with me. This is like stupid central. Don't do that. Okay, what I just did there, don't do that. Balls. Well, now we know there are no more bad herbs. And you know what? So, not restoration. Are there herbs of clarity? Like, you think I would have memorized these things by now, but, I mean, there's so many of them. If I want to use that forage, I'm going to have to kill me some wargs. I'm still not convinced I want to use it. I'm doing pretty well. Oh, I hate it when this happens. When you have a full inventory and you just want to put on your matak to dig, you have to drop your shield. Don't do that. Well, actually, it doesn't matter. Probably a secret door there, but I'm never going to find it. This is a situation I want to get under control right now, because room full of shadow worm masses is never fun. Well, I guess what I don't need? Any more of those. And I just seem to keep making the same mistakes over and over again. I should not have drank that potion in the middle of an open room like that. Oh, great. Aren't werewolves fast? Oh, but they move erratically. Okay, good, he's unwary. So I don't know, have I fought those before? Don't think so. How can you cripple a bat? That's ridiculous. I should have just shot it out of the air and, like, broken its neck. Werewolves, they're actually, I think they're easier than wargs. Like, they're hard, but not that hard. They don't come in packs, so that's really a benefit. And because they move erratically, it's easy to get random hits off on them. Oh, shoot. I really wanted to kill that werewolf. I don't really want to take on that many of those archers right now, because they will pincushion me pretty hard. I'll get a good hit off on the first one who's not paying attention to me, but I prefer to pick those off like when there's a straggler or something. That's my preferred way. When you see chewed up ground like this probably means there's another worm mass around here somewhere. And they drain grace, so look out for them. Is that a greater worm? Oh no, it's a ward. Yeah, there he is. He's just chilling. Maybe they don't cause darkness. Should I do it? I'm gonna do it. Ha! Bitch. Oh, it feels so good. Okay. Whoa, what was all that down there? How am I hungry? Did I actually eat bread like 2 minutes ago? I forgot what I was saying. I was saying something about werewolves, I think. But yeah, the gist of it is they're not that bad. The only thing they do is they hit pretty hard, and they hit to poison. So there are situations where that's just not what you want. But and don't get cocky. Just because you're an archer and you're killing these things with bows doesn't mean you can just sit there and punch them, because you can see how well it's working for me. Thank the Lord. Okay, so the real question is, can I do this? Can I... To get Artifice, I need... Nope. That's an easy question to answer. Oh, I only need 1,000. Okay, so 1,000 here. So I need 400 experience. I'm not going to make the same mistake as last time. So here's the math. I need to put 1,500 points in to get my 8 smithing. Then Artifice will cost another 1,000. So then I'll have 140 experience left over. Then I just need enough experience to get to 500 so I can make my Perception helmet. By Perception, I mean Lore Master. And the reason why that might actually still be a good thing to do with this build is to... I can use Artifice to make other good stuff as I find forges. And that way I don't have to spend experience getting Lore Master and Lore Keeper if I want to get other abilities in the Perception tree. And like, I know there's a werewolf here I can kill. Like, I found him. So let's budget like what, 1,000 turns to do this? I guess I could just start chugging potions, but like that doesn't seem like a great idea. When there's all these bad guys around I can kill. I'm not finding them though. Also, something that I'm very conscious of is that my lantern's running out of oil, so I would prefer to use a lantern than not. Who busted all these doors? Okay, let's see if I can get to 3,000 experience. Well, I can just drink a murky brown potion because I haven't identified those yet, so that's 100. Awesome. Quickness, that's good to know that I have that. Ah, balls. Well, this is hilarious. How do I get myself into these situations where I'm like 50 experience away from getting what I want? Well, that's a start. And like, where did all those archers go? Are they still down here? I think I can probably describe how insane this drives me. Like, maybe by the stairs would be the best place to look. Baby D. Okay, well, there's my experience source right there. Why is he here? I didn't think dragons ever, like, went up or downstairs. Okay, done. So I'm going to say, as I'm walking, not 100% convinced that Artifice is the best thing to take right now, but you guys have never gotten a chance to see it, so... And you know what I'm going to do this time is... I'm sorry to all the purists out there, but I'm going to play a little game called Saves Coming, not because I think, you know, this is dangerous, but because I'm just bad at math. So, I am going to get my save game here. I just saved. And the only thing I'm going to use this for is if I'm just wrong with my calculations, I'm going to reset, because we saw what happened last time I tried to do my own math. So let's dump a couple points into smithing. Okay, now I want to take artifice. So far so good. Now I want... do I have enough room to carry shit? Oh yeah, I want to put on my forge gloves. Hello, brain. Okay, what the hell was I doing? Oh yeah, helmet, duh. So let's get a helm. Nope, artifice. So this is kind of fun. You can do all kinds of stuff. My ideal helm, when I've invested a lot in smithing and I've been able to make some good smithing boosting equipment, is to make where's that thing? Perception. I like to make one that gives me both Lore Master and Listen, because those are two things that, you know, it's pretty hard to convince me to take them both by spending experience on them. Listen is really good for archers. Okay, but I don't know what just happened there. Are you telling me I can't make this? The smithing interface, I don't know if I'd use the word buggy, but it's a little bit inconsistent. Yeah, okay, so I can totally make that. What else can I put on here? I got 5 points left. Maybe I can get it to give me some perception. And another thing I haven't quite figured out about this game is why, where is it? Oh, okay. Wait, what's going on here? Let's say I take See Invisible. Okay. For some reason, any equipment that gives you true sight just costs like a bazillion smithing points. I don't get it. Like, it's extreme. So let's just start all over. I'm just gonna stop being fancy and... You know what I might do? I might make a dwarf mask. Yeah, let's do this. That gives me Lore Master. The reason why a dwarf mask is if I get in a situation where a monster's gonna breathe fire on me that's actually dangerous, I'm still not confident that this shield is gonna help me. Oh, but I'm getting Lore Master. Well, okay, whatever. I've got to do something. This is getting really navel-gazy. So when you're all done with your artificing, do this last, you get to name your artifact, which is pretty rad. So I'm going to call it the Dwarf Mask of Eureka. Last thing I want to do is... And you can see with artifacts, you can like do all kinds of stuff. You can increase protection sides, evasion bonus, attack bonus. I'm going to decrease the weight, so that I don't have to carry on a lot of shit. And let's pray to God nothing tries to attack me. Why was I interrupted? Oh no, okay. Shadows are like the worst monsters. I don't know why they hit so hard. Like, it's just like getting hit by a truck. But you can't see them. They're really hard to melee. True sight doesn't help, I don't think. And I think their attacks ignore defense. Awesome! This is a milestone, guys. We've never artificed anything before. So let's put it on. And now we've identified all our stuff now. So I got a little chunk of experience for doing that. So these are poison arrows. I'll just hit the equipment so it's easier for you to see. Herb. Oh, that's why. Man, that's why I'm hungry. I ate so many herbs of emptiness, but I guess unless it makes you hungry, you don't notice. That's really lame. Like, you think if you just shit your pants out that you would know, ooh, that herb was bad for me. Because I'm assuming that's what herbs of emptiness do. They make you crap your pants. Lembas. Oh yeah, duh. Okay, so healing, slow poison, quickness, strength, dexterity. Thunder. That is a staff of imprisonment. Jeez, I thought... It is the Kite Shield of Hador. I'm so awesome at hacking the game source. That's a good artifact. And the rest of it I knew, I think. So you can see how useful this item is. And it will only get more useful as we go. So now I can ditch this imprisonment. This trumpet is cute in the sense that it will stun my enemies, but stunning really doesn't help that much. And I have, I think trumpets... Are trumpets a song skill check or a will skill check? In either case, I have neither, so I'm hardly going to ever be able to use them. And that's it. So just in case you guys are wondering, if you ever feel like snooping on the game, if you go into the game folder where I'm playing on a Mac, but I'm sure it's the same for Windows. If you go into the lib folder and you go to edit, this is all the files that they use to generate the data files for the game. So like you can edit these and I don't think it changes anything. But if you crack them open, I think I have one open in Vim, you can take a look at all the artifacts in the game. And that's how I figured out that the only Kite Shield that it could possibly be was this one, because the Kite Shield of Fingolfin has like crazy stats. Cheat to win. Okay, but it's just, actually, I would encourage anybody to go and read this because it's awesome. Like, you can see the way the game makers were thinking. Like, this is nuts. Look at this. Half and Scava, the game creators, those are the handles they go by on the forums. They like know crazy shit about Lord of the Rings, and that's you can quote me on that. So it's just fun to learn, to read some of the genealogies and stuff that they've built. So the Shadow, like you can see, he blocks out a little dot on the ground, but he's just like frickin' impossible to kill. Oh, I get it. Okay, so he does work like an invisible enemy in that you can sometimes not see him, but when you see him in quotes, he just has a black square as a sprite. So all I know is I want nothing to do with that frickin' monster. Like, I'm just out of here. Awesome. Oh yeah, I don't want to take that down shaft. Whoa. How are these still worth 36 experience? I've killed like legions of them. Sorry guys, as much as I would like to end your life. Maybe the giant if he's still here. Was the giant following all those orcs? Don't forget, as you come across items that you haven't identified, like just because that helmet is in my inventory, doesn't mean it's doing anything. So you have to switch over to it to identify things. So it looks like my guess was correct. Any other items I'd like to identify? Spear. Yeah, let's go see what those are. Free action. Which, you know, useful, but... Alright. Wow, this is a fail. So this is cute because I still have an upstairs, but it's really bad when you take like a pit trap or something that doesn't generate an upstairs. Because now I'm pretty much forced to invest in perception. Now luckily, I was going to do that anyways. Because... Oh wait, am I? I don't think I'll do this now. Because focused attack really isn't very super useful for me. Yeah, I'm going to have to think about what I want to invest in next. I think song is like a huge priority. But archery is going to be a continued priority as well. But that's a lot of stuff to think about. I'm not too worried about it now, and this has been a long video, so I think I'm going to call it here. yeah, good game so far. We're managing to stay out of trouble. I'll probably need to put some more points into stealth to keep that the case, because what you're about to see is once we get near 700 feet, there are always some monsters on each floor that kind of are the wandering monster in group type. So far it's been orcs, but now we're not going to see many orcs anymore. At 600 feet, and I was actually really surprised we found those orcs on 550. Now, as we get deeper, they become these cat warriors. Kind of weird, but they're like werewolves except cats, I guess. And they travel in packs, and they're fast, and they hit hard. They have shitty protection, but the problem is they see everything. Like, they're really astute at picking out stealthy people like us. And it's hard to vanish from them because they can run fast, and they scream. So, in order to make life easier, I might just pump more stealth into keeping me hidden. But for now, I think that's good. Oh, I should put my archery gloves back on. And then probably starting the next video, I will end up... I'll probably end up chugging a couple of stat boosting potions just to undrain myself, especially the dex. But anyways, good enough for now, so I'll see you guys next time.